if you could rewrite history and take one of these iconic girl group songs and have it be a dollar song instead, okay, which song do you think you can perform very well with your girls? Okay, do you think the Pussycat Dolls Buttons, New Jeans Super Shy, or Girls' Generation G?
The first ever K-pop group, like girl group that I've ever listened to was Girls' Generation, so that would be my choice.
Oh, we would say.
And it would be funny for us to recreate that because I feel like, yeah, it would be funny to look at Sub recreate that.
I'm the new person. I'm the boss. Yeah, my crew 7. I'm the boss. Money come and bring. I'm the boss. That boss. That boss.
How are you feeling right now? I mean, with the album out and also doing press, where have I captured you right now?
You've captured us at a very exciting time, I must say. It's everything's still processing, I think, for all the girls and I as well, but fun times.
All right. I imagine when the album dropped, you know, obviously it's a labor of love. It's something that you've all worked very hard on. But what was sort of the reaction from people who know each of you before you joined the group? What was that experience like for them, for your friends and family?
I think for me at least, the people who've been with me the closest was my family. And I think for all of us as well, like our families were actually there at like our album launch, and also throughout this experience, they've been watching us kind of go through this journey of doing super exciting things, have launches and interviews and all that. And yeah, I think they're just super proud. A lot of them are like, what? Like, I see you like on the billboard sometimes. We're like, yeah, we do those kinds of things now.
And also, I think my friends were really, really happy about it. They all just like saw my story, like, oh, you dropped an album with DOLLA, and like, my favorite song is Boss Up, my favorite song is Drip. You know, they kind of just tell me their favorite song without me having to ask them. So it's like, I'm glad they also like take part in listening to our album, so that's good response as
Can
well.
you listen to it? Like, is that the first instinct when you see on Spotify, like, oh my gosh, the album is out? Like, do you press play or do you get too shy to even hear it?
No, this is we press play. We are so proud of this album that we actually play on loop like 20 times before it even came out. And then even when it came out, we also played it on loop. So I guess it's a very, very good result, and we're all very happy with the album. So
I want to talk about identity for a bit. How important is it for you to embrace the fact that you are Malaysian?
I think it's very important, as we have made it, I think, quite clear, at least locally. I think one of the goals that we have in mind, and one of our biggest dreams, is to build the Malaysian music industry and also make it more well known, you know, with other countries, and you know, the talent that we have, the kind of sound that we have. So it's definitely a big part of the goal, especially with this album as well, is to get our name out there and say like, hey, like, we're a girl group from Malaysia, we have all this talent, we have all these races, and it's just a beautiful melting pot. So
and I want to talk about the album and the catalog so far. It's been very, very tight, and that is a trait that we're seeing often, especially with girl groups, K-pop groups as well, where they're very careful about how much music they put out. How much have we not heard? And is there any chance that some of these songs will see the light of day?
Some of them will definitely see the light of day. It depends on the season, but we always have like a little stock of songs that we probably have not released yet, and I think that's the same for quite a few artists as well. We really take a long time to work on one single song, so we want to make sure that every single song we put out is the quality that we think the people deserve, and the listeners to our album and our singles deserve. So we really put our 110 to, like, you know, change the lyrics, to making sure the melody is just right and how our voices fit into the song. So some of them we've decided for the best, we don't want to put it out there, but at the same time there's some right now that we have not released yet.
Keep us waiting, and I like that. Shasha, what part of being in a girl group do you enjoy the most? Do you enjoy the recording, the music video filming, the styling, the outfits, or the live performances?
Seeing our fans and performing on stage is really like giving me such a different vibe, because the energy that they give back to us is something that I really appreciate the most. And the fact that they sing along and appreciate our music as well, that is something that if we're not DOLLA, we cannot enjoy this kind of stuff. So yeah, I feel like that is the best part of being in a girl group.
Tabitha, here's a fun one for you, okay? If you could add one of these icons, these girl group icons, to join DOLLA, who would you choose? Okay, Lisa from Blackpink, Scary Spice from the Spice Girls, Camila Cabello from Fifth Harmony. Who would you choose?
Oh my goodness, that is really difficult. Oh my goodness, they're all very iconic. I would say Scary Spice.
Scary Spice. Does anyone disagree? Does anyone want Lisa to be in the group, or Camila Cabello?
A member from the Spice Girls. Any member from the Spice Girls, any day.
Exactly. You know, they're super iconic, and I feel like each one of them would somehow contribute to us as a group, you know, so Scary Spice it is.
That would be insane. Okay, so the four of you went from dreaming about being pop stars to now being pop stars. You know, when you watch a live show, say Blackpink on stage, you know, are you still able to enjoy the show as a fan? Or are you constantly observing everything they do, and you're studying their moves, everything, because you know you're a girl group now?
Such a great question, because I actually went to Blackpink concert and I actually had a thought of going there just to see how they would go through all these set lists in the songs. It was like 20-30 songs in a row, and I was actually there to learn, but also enjoying the show at the same time, but mainly to see how they can, like, you know, survive throughout the whole like performance. You know, there's a lot going on, and it's very impressive, and I have mad respect for them. So,
but at the same time, I think one thing I love about the DOLLA girls and myself is that we have not lost our love for music. You know, that's something that we still really try and hold on to, even though we know, okay, like some part of it is work, but at the same time, like when we want to let loose, and when we're together and we just want to jam out to songs and listen to music we love, we can still kind of find the joy in just dancing and listening and singing to music at like any moment. So I think we still really enjoy that experience.
That is the most important thing, and I hope you never ever forget that, you know, because when it comes to success and stuff, that is up to the universe, that is up to the world. You can't control these things. All you can do is go out and perform, right? But you all join because you love music, you know, and that's the ultimate thing that will be with you all the way to your 90 over. What would be the biggest indicator for you that you've made it? So 100 million fans, so a lot of accounts following you. Is it a #1 hit on Billboard Hot 100, or is it performing at Coachella?
#1 hit on the Billboard charts. I think so, because I think that one, you really know that your music has reached such a wide audience from like all over the world. So I think there's no denying that, you know?
Yeah.
That's something. It's a milestone, but of course the others would also be such a huge success as well, but that will be mine.
I agree. That's also my
really
answer. Yeah.
My answer is 100 million fans.
Okay.
Just because I feel like you could have a Billboard hit but not maintain the longest career you could possibly have.
Ooh.
With 100 million fans, those fans are there with you, you know, for a long time, and they love your music and everything else you put out too. So it's like, you know, fans are there for like thick and thin, you know. So I feel like having those fans instead of like a number, of course #1 Billboard hit is huge, but you know, it doesn't necessarily mean that you'll stay for a long time in the industry.
Chances are you get one, you get the other, and you get the third, right? All kind of like
That's true. That's
Okay, the combination of all three.
it's usually
Yeah.
a package, but
before I go, Tabitha, with 2023 coming to a close, what will be your resolution for this group for 2024?
resolution. Let's can I say two things? I
Sure.
can. Let's stay healthy
Yes.
and let's tour Southeast Asia first. Let's go.
Kiss 92, all the great songs in one place.